Good morning friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In the last video, I have discussed in detail about the for loop with an example. I hope you have watched that video. If you did not watch the video, I sincerely request you to go back and watch that video and come back to this video. In this video, I want to discuss about while loop and do while loop in detail. So I sincerely request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. First, let me discuss the syntax of while loop. You know that any loop will have three sessions. One is initialization, condition, and iteration. So, you will have initialization, and then you will have the while keyword, which should be in lowercase because it is a keyword, and then you will have the condition or a test expression, and then you will have the curly braces, whatever the statements you want to execute, like statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, statement 4, all these things you will write here. At last you will write the iteration statement and then ends with a semicolon. So any loop will need to have three sessions. One is initialization. So you will have the initialization before the while loop, and then while you will have a condition. If the condition is true, these statements will be executed once, and then it will be iterated. Suppose let's take that initialization you have done I is equal to 0. Okay, then condition you are verifying I less than or equal to 10, and you are printing I value or you are doing certain task. Then iteration, next value you want to increment or display 1, then you will increment I value by 1, so I plus plus. Okay, then again you will verify the condition whether I less than or equal to 10 or not. If it is true, again the statements will be executed and again iteration will be happened, then again condition will be verified. Let's take that now the condition is failed, then control will come out from the while loop. So it is similar to the for loop, but only the syntax is different. In the for loop you will have a for keyword, initialization, semicolon, condition, semicolon, and then you have the iteration. But the for loop also can be written in the similar way as for loop, while loop. Okay, how we can write the for loop as it is like a while loop, let me discuss. See, you will have the initialization, you can do the initialization, and then you will have the for. Now as you already done the initialization, you will not do again here the initialization. Here you will provide the condition, semicolon. Now you will not provide the iteration here. Now let me close the for. So every for loop should have the three sessions. One is the initialization, condition, iteration, but initialization already you have done. Okay, so you will not provide the initialization section here. Condition you will provide here. Then what are the statements? Let's say that you want to execute statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, so on. At the last you can provide the iteration. See, now the while loop and for loop are looking same. Is it clear? So you can write the for loop also in the same way as the while loop. Okay, so the point here I want to highlight is that whatever the task you can do using the for loop, you can write the same program in the while loop also. Now what I will do is that I will write a simple program to display the values from 1 to 10. Okay, so in this case what I will do, initialization I will provide I is equal to 1. Okay, I will write int I is equal to 1, and then while I less than or equal to 10, and then here I will write system dot out dot println I value I will write. Okay, and then here I will write I is equal to I plus 1 ends the while loop. So this is the simple program, okay, or the logic to print the numbers from 1 to 10 using the while loop. When I value is greater than 10, this condition will be failed. Is it clear? If you want the tracing, we can do it also. Instead of 10, let me write here 3 so that the tracing will be done very easily. So I is equal to 1, and what is the condition you are doing? I less than or equal to 1, 3. So I less than or equal to 3. What is the I value? 1. 1 is less than 3. Yes, the condition is true. As the condition is true, the statements which are there in the while loop will be executed once. So system.out.println I. So I value will be printed. What is the I value? 1 will be printed. Then you have written I is equal to I plus 1. Already I value is 1. 1 plus 1, I value will be updated to 2. Now again the condition will be verified. 2 less than or equal to 3 or not. Yes, 2 is less than 3. Again the condition is true. As the condition is again true, the statements which are there in the while loop will be executed once again. System.out.println I. So I value will be displayed, which is 2. Then you have written I is equal to I plus 1. So already I value is 2. 2 plus 1 will be, I value will be updated to 3. Is 3 is less than 3? No. But however, 3 is equal to 3 because you are verifying the condition I less than or equal to 3. Okay, so 3 is equal to 3. The condition is true. So again the statements which are there in the while loop will be executed. So system.out.println I. So you can display the I value. Then I is equal to I plus 1. So 3 plus 1, 4. Okay, now I value is updated to 4. Is 4 is less than 3? No. 4 is equal to 3? No. So this condition is failed now. Once the condition is failed, it will come out from the while loop. I hope you have understood the logic behind printing the numbers from 1 to 3, or this you can extend 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 using the while loop. Now I will write one more program to compute the factorial of a number using the while loop. How can you compute the factorial of a number? Suppose let's take that I want to compute the 5 factorial. So what you will do? 5 factorial is equal to 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, which will be 6 into 4 is 24. 24 into 5 will be 120. So this is the number you want to display. So this is the way you will compute the factorial of a number. And you know that 0th factorial and 1 factorial will be equal to 1. And for a negative number, you cannot define a factorial. So you can easily compute the factorial of a positive numbers. For a negative numbers, you cannot compute the factorial. So with this logic, let me discuss how to write a Java program to compute the factorial of any number using the while loop. Now what I will do, I want to read the input from the user. So I will use the input stream reader and buffer reader. So to do that one, I need to import the Java module. So I will write here import java.io what this one, and then I will write class. Okay, let me write fact. Okay, the class name is fact. So in this case the file name should be fact.java, and then I will write public static void main string args throws exception, and then open the main function, and then you can declare the variables like I will write int, okay, factorial, and then num, and then let me use this one. So initially factorial is equal to 1 and num. So then what I will do is that I will create an object for the input stream reader. So input stream reader I is equal to new input stream reader system dot in. Similarly, you will create an object for the buffered reader. So buffered reader some r is equal to new buffered reader I. Okay, let me erase this one. Now what you have to do, you want to ask the user to enter the number. So I will write here system dot out dot println enter the number for which you want to compute the factorial. So let me write here enter the number. Once the user has entered the number, you want to store it in the variable num, and you will write integer dot parse int. Okay, and here I and this I is capital letter, here system S is capital letter, here I, S, R is capital letter, here B and R is a capital letter, and S is capital letter. That is very important. Now you need to use the readline method, R dot readline, where L is capital letter. Okay, so now whatever the value user has entered is there in the variable called num. You will verify if num is less than 0, then what is the meaning? This is a negative number. So you can write here system dot, okay, you can open the curly braces or you can avoid because it is single statement, system dot out dot println. Okay, please enter a positive number. This is very important. Lot of students will not write this condition. You need to write it. Okay, else means the given number can be a positive number or it can be equal to 0. So else what I need to do, I want to compute the factorial of a number using the while loop. So what I will do, while I, not I, what I will do here is that I will take the some j is equal to 1 and I will verify j less than or equal to num. Then I will open the while loop. Okay, see, as I need to write it in each line, but due to space issue I am writing here so you can understand it. Okay, while j is less than or equal to num, then I will write factorial is equal to factorial into j, and then I will write j plus plus and I will close the while loop. Okay, then what will happen? Look at here. Let's take that user has entered the number as 3. Okay, so user has entered num is equal to 3. So he want to compute the 3 factorial. If user want to compute the 3 factorial, what will happen? Look at here. While j less than num. Okay, what is the j value? 1. What is the num value? 3. So 1 is less than 3. The condition is true. As the condition is true, what will happen? The statements which are there in the while loop will be executed once. So factorial is equal to factorial into j. So already factorial value is 1. 1 into 1, you will get 1 only. So now factorial is having the value 1. Then j plus plus. So j value will be incremented and j value will be updated to 2. Again you will verify the condition 2 less than 3. Yes, the 2 is less than 3. So what you will do? Again the statements which are there in the while loop will be executed. So factorial is equal to factorial into j. So already factorial value is 1. into what is the j value? 2. So 1 into 2 will be equal to 2. That will be assigned to the factorial variable. And then j plus plus. J value is already 2. 2 plus plus j value will become 3. Now you will verify the condition. Is 3 is less than 3? No. But however 3 is equal to 3. So again the while condition is true. If the condition is true, again the statements which are there in the while loop will be executed. So factorial is equal to factorial into j. Already factorial value is 2. J value is 3. So 2 into 3 you will get the 6. So factorial will have the value 6. Then j value will be incremented. Already j value is 3. 3 plus plus it will become 4. Now j value is 4. Is the condition is true again? 4 is less than 3? No. 4 is equal to 3? No. So this condition is failed. If the condition is failed, the statements which are there in the while loop will not be executed. The control will come off and execute the statements which are there after the while loop. Now here what I want to display? I want to display the factorial. So I can write here system.out.println. In the else only I will write system.out.println. The factorial is okay. I will write plus factorial. Okay, the factorial is factorial you will write, and then what I will do, I will end this one with a semicolon, and then I will close the else block, and then I will close the main function, and I will close the class. Okay, so this is the program which will be useful for you to compute the factorial of a given number using the while loop. Now let me execute this program in the desktop and show the output for you. First let me import the java.io module. So import java.io.star. Then I will write class fact. Oh sorry, it should be fact. And then let me write public static void main string args throws exception, where e should be capital, and open the main function, and let me declare a variable called num, and then factorial is equal to 1, and then j. And I will write input stream reader I is equal to new input stream reader system.in. Similarly, buffered reader some b is equal to new buffered reader I. Then I will ask the user to enter the number. Okay, I will write system.out.println enter the number. At that number I want to store it in the variable called num. So I will write num integer dot parse int b dot read line method. Now I want to verify whether number is less than 0 or not. So num, if it is less than 0, we cannot compute the factorial of a number. So I will write system.out.println enter. We cannot compute or undefined. Simply you can write or enter a positive number. Something whatever you want to display, that you can display. Else if it is number is greater than 0 or equal to 0, then I will compute the factorial of a number using the while loop. Okay, so how I will do is that I will verify while j is less than num or not. Okay, here what I will do, I will initialize the j with value 1. Okay, if num j is less than or equal to num, then what I want to do, I want to write factorial small f. Okay, factorial is equal to factorial into j. Then I want to increment the j value, j plus plus, and let me close the while loop, and then I want to print system dot out dot println the factorial is I can write plus factorial, end with a semicolon, end the else block, end the main loop, and end the class. Now let me compile and run the program. So I will open the command prompt. As usual, we will go to the Java programs which is there in the desktop. So I have written command called cd desktop, then cd Java programs, and then I want to compile the program called fact.java. So I have written javac fact.java. As there are no errors, now I can run the program by giving a command called java fact. It is asking me to enter a number. First let me enter a negative number, -9. So it is displaying an output as enter a positive number. Okay, we cannot compute the factorial of a negative number. Let me enter the value 5. So we are getting the output as factorial is 120. Let me run the program again, and this time I am giving the number as 0. Then I am getting the output as factorial is 1, because 0th factorial and 1 factor is equal to 1 only. Let me enter the value 1. So for the negative number, it is displaying an output as enter a positive number. For the positive number, it is computing the factorial. For 0 and 1, it is displaying the output as 1. So this program is giving output for all the scenarios. So with this example, I hope you have understood the using of while loop. Now let me discuss about the do while loop. We have already discussed that the loops are broadly classified into two types. One is entry control loops and another one is exit control loops. In entry control loops, the condition will be verified. If the condition is true, then the statements which are there in the loop will be executed once, and then again the condition will be verified. If the condition is false, it will come out from the loop. So in the entry control loops, before executing the statements in the loop, the condition will be verified. If the condition is false, then the statements will not be executed. Whereas in exit control loops, first the statements will be executed once, then condition will be verified. So in entry control loops, minimum times the statements which are there in the loop will be executed is 0. Whereas in exit control loops, minimum number of times the statements in the loop will be executed is once. So we have already discussed about the for loop and while loop. They will come in the category of entry control loops. Now we will discuss about the do while loop, which comes in the category of exit control loops. So now let me discuss about the syntax of do while loop. So you will have a do keyword, and then you will have the statements, okay, and then here you will have the iteration, and then you will have the closed curly braces, and you will have the while keyword, and then you will have the condition, and here before the do you will have the initialization. So this is the syntax of do while loop. You will have initialization, iteration, and condition. So what is actually happening? The condition is not verified before entering into the loop. It is verifying after executing the statement once, which are there in the loop, then it is verifying the condition. So minimum number of times these statements will be executed is 1. Suppose let's take that initially itself this condition is failed. Then the statements will be executed, then the condition will be verified. As the condition is failed, the statements which are there after the do while loop will be executed. Whereas in the entry control, as you are verifying the while condition before, such as in the while loop and for loop, if the initial condition itself is failed, these statements will not be executed. So that's why I was stressing the point in the entry control loops, minimum number of times any instructions which are there in the loop will be executed is 0, whereas in the exit control loops it is 1. So that is the basic difference between a while loop and do while loop. This is one of the good question usually you will be asked in the interviews. So this is about the syntax of do while loop. Now let me write a simple logic to print the numbers from 1 to 10 using the do while loop. So what I will do, I will initialize int I is equal to 1. Then I will write the do, and then I will write system dot out dot println, and I will write the I. And now I will write I is equal to I plus 1, and then I will write the while and condition I less than or equal to 10. Now look at here how it will be executed. I is equal to 1, you keep it here, I is equal to 1, and then do system.out.println. So you are displaying the I value which is 1. Then I is equal to I plus 1. Now I value will be updated to 2. While I less than or equal to 10. 2 less than or equal to 10. Yes, the condition is true. If the condition is true, again the statements will be executed. So system.out.println I value 2 will be displayed. Then I is equal to I plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Now you will verify the condition. Is 3 is less than or equal to 10 or not? Yes, 3 is less than or equal to 10. Again the statements will be executed. I value will be printed as 3. Then I value will be incremented to 4. Again you will verify the condition. 4 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, the condition is true. Again the statements will be executed. I value will be printed and I value will be updated to 5. Then again you are verifying the condition. The condition is true because 5 is less than 10. The condition is true. Again the statements will be executed. I value will be printed as 5. Then I value will be updated to 6. And then you will verify the condition. Is 6 is less than 10? Yes. So you will display the 6. It will be 7. Again 7 is less than 10. Condition is true. 7 value will be displayed. I value will be updated to 8. Again 8 is less than 10. So again the statements will be executed. 8 will be displayed. I value will be 9. 9 less than 10. 9 will be displayed. Okay. Is it clear? I value will become 10. 10 is less than or equal to 10. Again the condition is true. So again I value will be displayed 10. Now I value will be 11. Is it clear? Now 11 is less than 10. Condition is failed. So 11 is greater than 10. 11 is not less than or equal to 10. Now the condition is failed. So it will come out from the loop. So what are the statements you have here at the after the do while, those statements will be executed. So whatever the task you can do using the while loop and for loop, you can do using the do while loop also. But you need to do small changes because the condition will be verified at the end in the do while loop. Now let me write this program properly for better understanding. What I will do is that I will read the input from the user. Suppose user has entered the value as 10. I want to display the numbers from 1 to 10. If user has entered the value as 5, then I want to display the values from 1 to 5. So what I will do is that as I need to read the input from the user, I will write the import java.io.star. Okay, this is Java J. Okay, then I will write class loop example ex I will write. Okay, class open, then you can write public static void main string, where s should be capital, string args, then throws exception. Open the main, then you can write the input stream reader I is equal to, you are creating an object called I for the input stream reader class. You can write in new input stream reader in braces system dot in. Similarly, you can write buffer reader some b is equal to new buffer reader I. Okay, then you can declare the variables whatever you want to declare. Let me write int num, okay, j is equal to 0. Then you can ask the user to enter the number. System dot out dot println enter the number. Okay, once the user has entered the number, you need to read it and store it in the variable called num. I will write integer dot parse int, where this I and this I should be capital letters, b dot read line method. Okay, read line method. Now whatever the user has entered is there in the variable called num. Then you can write do. Okay, open the curly braces, you can write system dot out dot println I, not I, j. Okay, j, let me erase it properly and write it j, this because you have taken this as a j variable. Okay, then you have to write j is equal to j plus 1. You can write while j less than or equal to num. So this is the do while loop, and then you can close the main and you can close the class. Okay, so this is the program to display the values from 0 to the number whatever the user has entered. Suppose if user has entered the num value as 5, then it will display the output from 0 to the 5. If user has entered the num value as 10, then it will display the output from 0 to 10. So this is the use of this program. Now what I will do, I will execute this program and show the output for you.
Let me write import java dot io dot star, and I will write class loop ex. Sorry, it should be lowercase. And then I will write public static void main string args throws exception, and let me open the main function, and here I will declare the variables as num and then j with value 0. Now I will write input stream reader I is equal to new input stream reader. We are creating an object called I for the class called input stream reader. Similarly, I'm writing buffer reader some b is equal to new buffer reader. We are creating an object called B for the buffered reader class. Then I will write system dot out dot println, enter the number, enter the number. Whatever the user has entered the number, I will store it in the variable called num. So I will write integer dot parse int b dot readline method. Now I will write the do while loop. So I will start with the do. What are the statements I want to execute? I will write here. So I will write system dot out dot println the j value. Then what I want to do, I want to perform j plus plus or j is equal to j plus 1, and I will close the do while loop with the keyword called while and then condition j less than or equal to num. And in the do while loop, always the while should end with a semicolon. So we have closed the do while loop. We need to close the main function and then we need to close the class. Let me save the program. Go to the command prompt cd desktop cd java programs, and then I will write java c loop ex dot java. There are no errors. Now let me run the program. Java loop ex. Enter the number. If I enter the number value as 10, then it will display the output from 0 to 10. Similarly, if I CLS for clear. Now let me run the program again. This time I'm giving the output as, if this time I'm giving the input as 5. So it will display the output from 0 to 5. See. Similarly, if I enter the input as some 8, then in this case it will display the output from 0 to 8 for you. So I hope you have understood the while loop and do while loop. If you still have any doubts related to the while loop and do while loop, you can ask in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.